Forget the friendly neighborhood superhero, forget the multiverse jokes, the bright spandex, and the happy endings. Because what Marvel and Sony are secretly building behind closed doors right now isn't a superhero movie. It is a straight-up, street-level, body horror psychological thriller. The US and UK fan bases are completely melting down over a massive, disturbing detail hidden inside the latest production leaks for Spider-Man Brand New Day. Peter Parker isn't just suffering from depression after the tragic spell in No Way Home. His DNA is actively rejecting his human biology. He is mutating. And the most terrifying part? Marvel has brought back Jon Bernthal's Punisher not to team up with Spider-Man, but because the city of New York thinks Peter Parker is turning into a lethal monster that needs to be put down. In this video, we are breaking down the horrifying reality behind Peter's new organic mutation, how a heartbreaking betrayal from Ned Leeds triggers a lethal manhunt, and the dark reason Bruce Banner is the only man who can stop this nightmare. If you think the MCU has lost its edge, brace yourselves. Let's dive in. Let's address the single biggest trending leak dominating the Western demographic right now, the terrifying shift to organic webbing. Now, when Tobey Maguire got organic webs in 2002, it was treated as a cool, convenient biological upgrade. But under the direction of Destin Daniel Cretton, this evolution is being treated like a terminal disease. Think about it. For years, Peter's body was perfectly balanced, but the sheer, unrelenting psychological trauma of losing Aunt May, being entirely forgotten by MJ and Ned, and fighting brutal street crime 24/7 has pushed his nervous system to the absolute breaking point. Cortisol and adrenaline have triggered a dormant phase in his radioactive spider. According to insiders, Peter's mechanical web shooters melt off his skin because his wrists are literally tearing open to secrete biological predatory webbing. It's painful, it's graphic, and it's completely out of his control. His human cells are losing the war against the spider biology. Desperate, terrified, and hiding from the public, Peter sneaks into Empire State University to find the one man who understands what it's like to have your human body hijacked by a radioactive monster, Dr. Bruce Banner. But Banner doesn't look at Peter and see a hero anymore. He looks at the lab results and sees a ticking time bomb. The mutation is spreading, changing Peter's behavior, making him more aggressive, more primal. And while Peter is hiding in the shadows trying to cure himself, the criminal underworld of New York senses blood in the water. Which brings us to the return of a forgotten villain. With Wilson Fisk now pulling the political strings as mayor of New York, vigilantes are public enemy number one. Fisk takes Mac Gargan out of prison, hands him a multi-million-dollar weaponized cybernetic scorpion suit backed by criminal tech empires, and gives him one order: kill the spider. Gargan isn't the campy comic book villain anymore. He is a traumatized, vengeful psychopath who has been rotting in a cell for years because of Spider-Man. He wants to tear Peter apart limb by limb. But this is where the movie transitions from a standard superhero flick into a dark, multi-sided tactical thriller. Because Kingpin and Scorpion aren't the only ones hunting Peter. Enter the deadliest man alive, Frank Castle. Western audiences are losing their minds over this because we are finally getting the comic-accurate, lethal Punisher battle van. Frank Castle doesn't care about superhero politics. He sees a highly unstable, mutating spider creature swinging through New York, snapping criminals' bones with uncontrollable rage. To Frank, Peter Parker isn't a kid. He's a threat to public safety that needs a bullet between the eyes. But how does Frank Castle, a man who operates in absolute secrecy, manage to track down a cloaked, mutating Spider-Man? The answer is a tragic twist that is going to absolutely break the hearts of MCU fans. Remember the ending of No Way Home? Doctor Strange's spell worked perfectly. Ned Leeds has absolutely zero memory of who Peter Parker is. To Ned, Spider-Man is just a mysterious, terrifying, and increasingly violent vigilante dominating the New York news cycle. Being an elite MIT tech genius, Ned decides to create a highly sophisticated, crowdsourced algorithmic program called the Spider-Man Tracker app. It scans police scanners, traffic cameras, and satellite data to predict exactly where Spider-Man will strike next. Ned thinks he's being a hero. He thinks he's helping the NYPD keep tabs on a dangerous anomaly. But Frank Castle intercepts the app's code. Let that sink in. Peter Parker's former best friend, the guy who used to be his guy in the chair, accidentally hands the deadliest hunter on Earth the exact GPS coordinates to a bleeding, mutating, vulnerable Peter Parker. The psychological horror of Peter running for his life from the Punisher, knowing that his own best friend is the one tracking him down without even knowing his name? That is peak elite tier cinema. It elevates this movie into a masterpiece of emotional suffering. So guys, this incredible shift into a dark, grounded, street-level thriller is exactly why Spider-Man Brand New Day is tracking to completely annihilate the global box office. Marvel is finally taking off the kid gloves, Peter is losing his sanity, his physical humanity is rotting away, his friends are turned against him, and the ultimate executioner is waiting in the shadows. But I want to hear from you guys. Do you think Bruce Banner will find a cure for Peter's mutation before Frank Castle finds him? Or are we about to witness the birth of something truly monstrous in the MCU? Smash your theories in the comment section below. I read every single one of them. Smash that subscribe button so you don't miss our next deep dive breakdown on Kingpin's Secret Alliance. And as always, bliss out.